Well, how about that? A theory video with actual science involved. Hello, everyone. This is Elric with Theoretically Yours, and I'd like to talk to you about the Fermi paradox. For those of you who feel that introduction is in order, the Fermi paradox is named after physicist Enrico Fermi, a famous, or infamous depending on your stance, skeptic of extraterrestrial life. In his paradox, he explains that our universe, with billions upon billions of stars, planets, and galaxies, many of which are likely to be nice and cozy for creatures similar to us, someone should have been able to develop interstellar travel by now, right? So where is everyone? Why don't we see evidence that we've been visited? Well, if you want my opinion, and I'm assuming that's the reason you clicked on this video, I have cooked up a few counter-hypotheses. Nobody knows where to look. The universe is a pretty big, empty, and lonely place. For all the light years that we've scoped out, all the evidence of any life we've discovered is us. Given that there's multiple light years between star systems, we can't exactly go looking for them ourselves. For those of you who don't know what a light year is, light is by nature the fastest thing in the universe. And it's a speed that we have never even gotten even close to being at. All we can really do for right now is send out little signals here and there that say, "Hey universe, we're here and we're alive." And we started doing this at around the 70s, although we first developed the ability to send out radio broadcasts a little bit over 100 years ago. So, let's say we sent out the first signal that tells aliens just enough to know that we're here, either by accident or on purpose. And let's do a few calculations in a little program called Space Engine. Okay, so searching about, say, 100 light years, we get some very optimistic results for life in our galaxy. Okay, so assuming we've sent out signals for 100 light years, they've reached 100 light years away from us, and this is the first planet they would have reached, most likely. Let's have a look at the nearest Goldilocks planet. I don't know how you call a planet that's negative 12 Celsius a Goldilocks planet, but hey, whatever, terraforming and all that. And maybe there's something that really likes cold. Seeing a lot of ocean, maybe some continent that'll allow for a civilization, but let's just assume that there's a little advanced civilization here. That's a big hurricane. Okay, so this planet is 28.75 light years away. 100 years ago, or it reached there about, say, 100 minus 8.75. It reached there about 71 years ago, sorry. And subtracting another 28.75 from that means that they would have, at the earliest, got their reply back to us 42 and a half years ago. So, we put 2018 minus 42.5, around the mid to late 1970s, accounting for stellar drift, the nature of the universe that'll cause objects to slowly drift away from each other. So usually gravity will make this kind of a moot point when we're talking about our local galactic group, which I'll get into later. Now, let me introduce you to something called the WOW signal. The WOW signal was named in an Ohio State University radio telescope called the Big Ear. And they picked up a signal in, guess what, the mid to late 1970s, or specifically 1977, which many still believe to this day that that might be of artificial origin. So who knows? Maybe HIP 23314 is home to someone. Of course, this is all just speculation and a few numbers thrown in for a thought experiment, so let's move on to the next planet for a second. Now this one's 49 light years away, so a reply to us would have gotten here just a couple of years ago. Here it is right here. Wow, I can already see that this is very much a tidally locked planet. Around the twilight edge, there's an ever-present ring of ice that indicates an entire frozen continent. And the energy from the sun beating down on this side of the planet has caused the biggest hurricane you could ever even conceive of. Let's see how fast we can make it spin by speeding up time. Yep, as we've discussed, it's tidally locked, meaning that one side of the planet is constantly facing the star. So to live comfortably on this planet, you would have to live somewhere on this twilight zone, as it were. So I'm not 100% optimistic about there being terrestrial intelligent life. And as you can see, it's labeling specifically that this planet has marine life on it. So, moving on. Now this star and all of its planets are about 51 light years, so if we got a signal from, say, this planet, there we go, that's more similar to what kind of planet we'd be most likely to live on. Nice terrestrial planet with plenty of continents, nice ocean. It's very, very pleasing to live, aside from the massive hurricane. But it's 51 light years away, so we'd be expecting to hear a reply for them sometime in 2020. Anyway, aside from that, the second possibility is that we're actually the most civilized race in the galactic local group. Now, in my own opinion, and that's all it is, an opinion, is that this is actually the least likely out of the three, but it goes something like this. For all we know, that every civilization in feasible range, it's actually only possible for light to travel galaxies that are gravitationally bound to ours. Dark energy is literally making distances to everywhere else greater at an insurmountable rate. Assuming that there's 100 planets that can support life in this group, I have no idea and no way of knowing this if this is close to true at all or not. And about 50 of the worlds are covered almost exclusively with water, and therefore are home to nothing more advanced than Earth-like fish. 49 are similar to Earth in that they have continents, 39 of which only have creatures as evolved as Earth primates or something like that. 10 of which have sentient civilizations, the most technologically advanced of which are comparable to our own at around the American Civil War or even earlier. And then, of course, is the planet Earth. As likely or unlikely as it is, we don't exactly have a sharp enough Occam's razor to even begin to rule this one out. The third and final theory is our presence is known to everyone, but they have decided not to contact us for one reason or another. And any one of these reasons could be true. Our galaxy may actually be home to a massive civilization that refuses to intervene with what they consider a developing civilization. Not too unlike the Prime Directive seen in the Star Trek series. Perhaps we're being observed from afar so as to avoid cross-contamination, be it biological or cultural or both in nature. Pessimistically speaking, it's even possible that our alien neighbors are intrigued by other civilizations much more than they are by ours. Or, generally, they just don't care that we're here. Still, we're ignoring the fact that many do believe that there is evidence we've been contacted. Even though there's no actual official evidence of this, there have been many counts of abductions, over 100,000 eyewitness accounts of unidentified flying objects in the past 100 years. I don't know if we've been visited or not, but I have a hard time believing that they built the pyramids or anything like that. Anyway, tell us what you think in the comments below. Theoretically yours, this is Elric, signing off.